Turn it on. Today is the 1st of December, and that means, in my mind at least, that we are now into winter. You see, I like to arrange the seasons by month. So, for example, winter is December, January and February. Spring is March, April and May. Summer is June, July and August. And the autumn is September, October and November. And with that in mind, I now want to start focusing on capturing some wintry photos. Now, I'm just looking at the weather forecast for the week, and it looks like there's a chance that we are going to get wet at some stage. Now, I can afford to shoot on Wednesday, Friday and Sunday this week. And on Wednesday, I really should go to the Langdale Valley because I'm supposed to be working on a commission there. But at the weekend, I'm actually being joined by a friend of mine, Tom. Now, back in the summer, Tom and I formed a support bubble. And because we've come to the end of lockdown, or we will tomorrow, and because Tom's in Tier 2 and we're in Tier 2, that means he can come and stay. So we'll shoot together on Friday and Sunday, and I'm going to let him choose the locations that we visit. Now, in order to help him do that, I've drawn up a list of 12 areas within the Lake District that I want to focus on during the winter. And I'm going to get him to pick from those. Welcome to the Langdale Valley, more specifically the area close to Cathedral Cave. This is the area around it, the quarrying area close to the cave. If you know the area, I'm not far from Slater's Bridge and Little Langdale Tarn. And I've been here this morning because I've been doing some shots inside the cavern itself on a commission that I've been working on. And I've come outside now and I want to try and get some wintry shots. And I've picked up on this first composition here. What I've got in front of me are 3 silver birch trees to one side, and then to the other side is a stone cairn created with slates that have been piled up. And then the reason why this shot caught my eye is behind it we have some mountains, and there's some absolutely beautiful light on those mountains, and I think this is making for an absolutely lovely shot. Telephoto lens on, I'm at just over 100mm, and that's really compressing this scene. Well, how about this for a wintry scene? As you can see, we've had some snow overnight, and I've come to St John's in the Vale near Keswick. Tom's with me. He came up last night, and overnight we've had a huge dumping of snow. It's absolutely beautiful. I've come up onto Low Rigg, and from up here you get fabulous views of Blencathra and Skiddaw, and I was here back in the summer. I had a wonderful shoot here. Conditions are a little bit harder today. We've had some mist and sort of fog sort of rolling in, so visibility's been quite poor, but it has at least opened up now. And I've taken my typical wide angle shot looking towards Skiddaw, and now I've got the telephoto lens on, and I'm just picking out some little details. I quite like this portion of the view looking towards Latrig. We've got these kind of patchwork fields in the foreground, and then you've got the trees on the side of Latrig, and you can actually just make out Castle Rigg Stone Circle from here. This is the shot that I've come to St John's in the Vale for. This lovely old tree that leans off of the side of the hill, and there's a lovely shot here. The tree on the left hand side, Blencathra on the right hand side, but today you can't see Blencathra, and that's because it is actually now snowing. But I'm not going to be deterred come all this way, made all this effort, I want to get this shot. So I'm going to grab it very quickly. In order to do that, I've got my lens covered up with my lens cloth, and I'm just going to start my 2-second timer, and then just before the shutter fires, I'm going to whip the lens cloth out the way, and that way I shouldn't get too much snow on the lens. Right, here we go. Turn it on. That'll do. That'll do nicely. Now, Tom and I didn't make it out on Sunday, so I do only have 3 images to review this week. Before we get to that, let's just watch that last bit again. Turn it on. That'll do. That'll do nicely. Now, that noise at the end was me spinning my polarizer as I whip that lens cloth away. Don't do that. That's not going to help your photographs at all. Unfortunately, I always get a shot in the bag before I film, and it's that one that we're going to look at first. So this is the shot that I went to St John's in the Vale to get. And as you can see, you've got the tree on the left-hand side, but you can't see Blencathra, which is supposed to be on the right-hand side. And for that reason, this shot doesn't really work as a standalone photograph. It's going to make a brilliant thumbnail because I've got lots of space on that right-hand side to put some writing, to put a title. But this is what that shot should have looked like. So you've got that tree on the left-hand side, and there's Blencathra in the distance. And this is a shot that I took back in August this year. And that's what I was going for, but as you say, unfortunately, you couldn't make out Blencathra. And so that forced me to try a slightly different composition. So off of camera, I did shoot this portrait orientation shot of that tree. And you can see this is a very, very simple composition. And that snow and the sort of mist and gloom that we had creates a wonderful plain background for that tree. So the tree stands out. Shooting really from this angle, typically you would have the hills in the distance sort of cutting in a little bit into the tree. But as I say, with that plain white background, the tree really stands out. And then I've simply used a couple of rocks or areas where the rock has been exposed as a little bit of foreground interest, just to draw the attention up towards the tree. So very, very simple composition, very simple shot, but typically very, very wintry. This is as wintry, I think, as you're ever going to get. If you want a shot of winter, this is a pretty good one. So let's go right back now then to the first shot that I did at the Langdale Quarries, Little Langdale Quarries. And I think this is possibly the most successful shot of the week. And this is, again, a very different shot, but it is still quite wintry. You've got these trees, and through the trees you can see the mountain behind. And you wouldn't be able to take this sort of shot in the summer or any other time during the year because the leaves would be blocking the view. And I like this shot a lot, and it's the only problem with it, I think, is that the trees and the cairn and the foreground just lack a little bit of light just to lift it slightly. But this has got me thinking about doing a lot more work with my telephoto lens, and I suspect that that's what I will try next week. That's it for me for this week. Thanks ever so much for watching. If you've enjoyed this video, please do give it a thumbs up. And if you've enjoyed this new format that I'm trying out, where I introduce what I'm going to be doing, I then go out on location and take the shots spread across multiple days, and then at the end I come back and I review the images, then please do leave a comment below. Hopefully this new approach will take the pressure off me while I'm out on location, but it'll also help you guys because it allowed me to share with you what I think works and what I think doesn't work when we look at the final images. So yeah, if you like this new format, then do please leave a comment below, and if enough of you are behind it, then I will try and continue to make videos in this vein.